The top story on ABC News Breakfast, a new funding deal for trade training is high on the agenda for today's meeting of state and federal governments. The Skills Minister Chris Evans says the proposal would see the states paying for basic training. The Commonwealth would fund higher level qualifications. WA and Victoria say they'll lose money under the new deal. The Gonski review of school funding is also on the agenda.
For more, Nick Dole joins us now from Canberra. Nick, good morning to you. A very busy agenda for the Premiers and the Prime Minister today.
A huge agenda, and there's always a huge range of topics that could be discussed. But the Prime Minister, as you said, has put skills firmly on the agenda. She says the way the economy is going is that unskilled workers really are going to find it increasingly difficult to find work. So earlier this year, the Prime Minister announced a range of skills measures, and she now wants some of the details agreed today. Some of those include things like HEC-style loans for TAFE students and for the states to agree to quality testing of vocational courses. And now the government wants the states to fund Certificate 3 positions and for the Commonwealth to fund higher education. Now, the Commonwealth says it's willing to put in a significant amount of money to fund that, but it's unclear whether the states are actually going to agree. Certainly some of them, Western Australia and Victoria, for example, have said that on the face of it, they'll actually be losing funding. So there could be some tough negotiations ahead on that front.
And as always, there's a fair bit of tension going into these sort of meetings, with Campbell Newman, for one, repeating his very strong condemnation yesterday of the carbon tax.
That's right. He really set the tone somewhat yesterday, didn't he, when he arrived? It sort of seems as though this idea of cooperative federalism might be at risk somewhat, and it's certainly going to be an interesting dynamic at COAG today, given there's a very different makeup at the table. But some of the more controversial ideas, things like the Gonski review into education funding, things like the National Disability Insurance Scheme, while they're big ticket items and they could prove controversial, might be sidelined somewhat today. And not only is that because they're controversial, really no level of government has agreed on exactly how that funding model would work. So there might be some broad debate on those sorts of issues, but nothing concrete.
And quickly, Nick, on another issue, Michael Williamson of the Health Services Union has quit a key union post, but it's not enough for his critics.
No, that's right, and there's continuing pressure on him to quit the national organisation, but he has resigned as the Vice President of Unions New South Wales. There was significant pressure on him to do this, and this is of course flowing on from the allegations, which he denies, that there was mismanagement while he was running the Health Services Union. Let's hear from Mark Lennon from Unions New South Wales on why they took the decision and what implications that could have.
I thought it was appropriate, given the ongoing controversy surrounding the HSU, that we make a statement that we are acting in regard to the controversy. We make no statement with regard to the nature of those allegations. That's for the appropriate authorities. But clearly the ongoing speculation is damaging to the trade union movement, and in that regard I thought it was appropriate, and Michael understood that it's in the best interests of the union movement in New South Wales that he stepped down from his positions here at Unions New South Wales.
Mark Lennon there of Unions in New South Wales. Nick Dole, thank you very much.
Thanks, Michael.